everyone, welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts and my Finding Fall card series, where I'll be featuring fall themed cards over the next few weeks. Today I'm featuring products from LDRS Creative. I am going to jump right into those products. I have two stamp sets. The first one is called Strawberry Patch. The next one will be called Build a Tree. And finally, the Elegant Edge Slimline die is the star of the show. There were two of these dies that were released over on HSN, both created by Angie over at LDRS Creative. The innovativeness of this product is so fun. It will actually create a shaped slimline card. All you need to do is take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, fold it in half. There is a cut edge on 3 sides, and one side does not have that. The one without the cut edge you put on the fold, and once you run it through your die cutting machine, voila! Through the magic of die cutting, you will have a shaped slimline card. There are 2 other layers in this set, as well as some labels and some tags. There are some scallop circles. The thing that I really like about these slimline products that Angie releases is that all of them can be mixed and matched with each of the slimline die sets that she brings out. So you have tons of different combinations that you can use. I have stamped my images out onto Copic friendly paper. As you can see, I colored up my bear and my owl, but I wanted to show you just a little bit of Copic coloring. I'm going to show you the coloring of the leaves. As you can see, I have a YR7 and a YR14 marker. I'm blending those together with a Y19 to get that nice orange-yellow combination. I am using some of the slimline paper over at LDRS Creative, and one of the sheets I created grass. So I cut the grass out using a Lawn Fawn die, and then I used the second layer of the die set to cut the bottom of it so that it would match my matting piece, which you'll see in just a moment. Anyway, that piece is purple, and I wanted to bring a little bit more of that purple in, so what better way than to color my leaves purple? So this set of leaves are going to be colored with V12 as my lightest color, V15 as my mid-tone, and all of the shadows will be filled in with a V17. Once I finish with this combination, I'm going to move on to a yellow-green combination, which is going to be Y18, 19, and finally I'll bring in a YG3. All of these blend together nicely. For the bear, I did color the bear using some E70 markers. I believe I used E71, 74, and 77 for that. So once I get these colored up, and you can see that all I did was lay down the green, lay down a little bit of the yellow, and I just worked on blending the colors together, and I love the way that it turned out. Here is the star of the show, which is that Elegant Edge. As you can see on the left, I already cut my card panel out. I'm just showing you what I did again. So I used that flat edge over on the side that was folded, so the side that has right there that's been scored, and that is creating my card base. I did cut out another layer right here using another piece from the oh my goodness, I think it's called Pastel Patterns, as well as this purple gingham piece. So I'm going to glue all of these down. I did cut out a second panel that's solid white, which I'll put on the inside of my card to finish off my sentiment. Once I get all of this glued down, I am going to add foam tape to the back of the leaves that are falling down and that are on the tree, the owl, and then I'll also add it to the little mouse that I had hanging from the branch. You see that I have a little lip on that left hand side. To avoid that lip, if you want to, You could move your die up, so not actually line that flat edge on the folded side. You could bring it up above that, and that would prevent some of that lip there. But that didn't bother me at all. I was perfectly fine because this card will fit into a number 10 envelope. I do have my tree and branch. I'm going to bring my branch in here in just a moment. I knew I wanted my sentiment in between the tree and the owl, so I was just making sure that I knew where I needed that placement of the tree to be. Once I glue the branch on, I'll glue everything down to the card panel, and then we'll start with that fun foam tape that you know I absolutely love to use on my cards. This is 1/8 inch foam tape. I purchased it over at scrapbook.com. I love this little tape. It works for small pieces like these leaves. I will end up using them on my critters as well because I just didn't want to take out another foam roll. I had this out and I figured I would just go ahead and use it. So I do use it on the bear as well. Once I get all of these leaves straightened out, I'm going to work on my sentiment. So you see that I did cut out the label. There are 2 pieces to the label where I'm going to put my sentiment, and I cut one out of the gingham paper again to bring that purple into another area of my card to make my card more balanced and cohesive. And then once I get all of my elements on, I'm going to start with that sentiment. So the solid piece is going to be stamped with VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I will mask off the bottom portion, so it's only going to say, I love you more. Here's where we're going to go ahead and add that. Because the bottom is hanging off the label, I did need to just put it in the middle of my Misti. It just worked a little bit better for me to do it that way. When I do my masking, I just use some purple tape and I'll ink it up with that black ink. And once I ink that up, I'm going to get a little bit on some of the sentiment below. I'll just use my fingernail to clean that off, and then I'll close the door of my Misti and we'll have a nice crisp sentiment. I am going to glue that directly to the purple gingham piece of paper, that label, and then I'll add some foam tape to the back of that. So here's where we're layering those pieces up. And then once I started looking at this, so I did cut all of my pieces out using my brother's Scan and Cut. There are coordinating dies to these stamp sets. I just don't have them. So I used my brother's Scan and Cut to cut them out. And once I laid, I'm going to start laying out some of the smaller leaves that I colored in. I'm going to realize that I want even more because I felt like it was still a little bit too bare. I do end up fiddling a little bit with my placement, so that label is going to move, this mouse is going to move, the owl is going to move, and it's not going to move a lot, it's just going to move a little bit. But you know, I just wanted to let you know that sometimes I don't like press down super hard when I'm using foam tape, and that's because, you know, I know that I might want to change something. And so just keep that in mind when you're putting something down that has foam tape on it, that if you don't press it really hard, it makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to move things later on. Here's where I'm adding just a few more of those leaves. As you can see, it just looked a little bit bare. So I'll add some to the tree, and then I'm going to add a couple that are falling down right. Well, here's where I'm moving the mouse. I'll move the mouse over to the left, and then I decided it was hanging too much in line with the bear, so I kind of just tilted it. You can see it's kind of at a little bit of an angle, and that just creates a little bit more, you know, so it's not so linear. As always, I'm going to add a little bit of detail to the leaves with my gel pen, as well as to the acorns. And I think that that just adds a little bit more pizzazz to the card. And I like the way that little bit of detail makes those leaves pop even more. You know from the last card that I did that LDRS Creative is near and dear to my heart. They are coming out with a new fall release, so keep your eyes open for that. I can't wait to see what Angie has in store for us. Here I had some clouds. I felt like we were still a little bit bare up on top, so I went ahead and added those clouds. This is where I had to realign my sentiment because of the addition of the clouds. And that's my card for today. So thank you so much for watching. I'm glad that you joined me. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Until next time, have a fabulous day.